San Diego Union Tribune and Retirement Strategies Group present the Union Tribune Community Spotlight Show with your host, Drew Schlossberg.
I'm Drew Schlossberg of the San Diego Union Tribune, and we are just honored to have in the studio with us today Jerry Schniepp, the longtime commissioner of the CIF-San Diego Section, who announced his retirement effective after the 2019-2020 school year. And Jerry, right before break, we were just talking about some of the things that are tough to do but are important to do on your field, you and John and everybody else, on whether it's dealing with suspensions or if a person gets kicked out of a game, and then what do they have to do? Certainly people that are ruled ineligible and all that. What are some of the, you could probably talk for 15 hours on this one. What are some of the real top highlights that you could say, we are so proud that what we have done, and I'm going to throw this out there and tee up a little bit. You guys have been laser beamed on player safety. Talk about that. Yeah,
for sure. That is unquestionably the number one priority in everything that we do is that everyone involved in an event needs to be safe. And so, football is always highlighted. As you know, Drew, and the game has changed quite a bit. It's needed to change quite a bit in the last 10 years. And to the point where I would tell you, and I've heard other people say this now as well, that the game is safer than it ever has been. With the equipment that we now have, with the rules that have changed significantly, with concussion protocol and work with medical groups and committees on player safety. To me, we're hyper focused on head injuries in all sports, but significantly in football, and
right.
So that's been a big point of emphasis. You're right. I could talk about a lot of other things that I'm proud of too. If you got time, I'd be happy to share some more.
No, please do it. But I want to really get on the player safety, which is so critical. Certainly, anyone that follows anything what's going on, and we'll use football sort of as a benchmark on this. We know about the concussions and the tragedies with CTE, especially with some of our local heroes such as Junior Seau and so forth on this. And we know it starts even before at Pop Warner and whatever. And it's not just football. A lot has been written about the head injuries in soccer at youth and so forth, and everything else involved. So really want to give a big shout out to you and to John and to all the other folks that have been laser beamed on this. What are some of the other highlights, Jerry?
So, we significantly changed the structure of our playoffs, as you know, Drew, and
right.
Having competitive-based divisions, I think, has really changed the foundation of athletics in high schools. We get our best teams playing each other. There no longer is a great team in Division III that never gets to play that Division I team
right.
because of the size of the enrollment of the school, and that's not the case anymore. Our best teams play each other, and I think it's made competition in our highest divisions pretty amazing to watch. And it also then opens up other divisions for teams that may have struggled over the years and are able to build a base by having the ability to have some success and compete for a championship, even if you're not in a higher division. So I think it's leveled the playing field. Our statement from the beginning was you should be playing against programs like your program. And even though we get some that are different on the surface, competitively they can be very similar, and so that's something I'm very proud of as well.
Right, and it makes all the sense in the world. And anyone who has played sports, high school sports for years have said, "Geez, I would love to get a crack at fill in the blank," but because our enrollment is only X amount, we'll never get a chance to do that. I think that's terrific in that area. And I think listen, that's great for those smaller schools to be able to play some of the bigger schools, at least enrollment wise, because the talent level doesn't necessarily have to dip off with that aspect of it. Listen, one of the things, and we're again chatting with Jerry Schniepp, he's the retiring commissioner of the CIF-San Diego Section, is, and I know you're going to sort of grumble a little bit on this question here because you're such a humble man over here, but literally I can't tell you how much we've enjoyed having you on our UT Prep Sports Show and now the Community Spotlight Show. But what would you say, boy, when they write your epitaph, not that you're ready to you say goodbye to this world, what do you want them to say about what Jerry Schniepp has accomplished in these years since 2011?
It's an interesting question, and I think I would tell you, Drew, that one of our highest priorities coming in, and what I feel like we've done, is improve communication and relations with our schools. I think that was imperative, that it had to have happened, that we cannot just be the arm that brings the hammer down on schools and kids. We have to communicate. We have to do more trainings. We have to be visible at events, and I think both John Labita and I have held that as our highest priority, and I feel good about that. I think we've improved that aspect of the image of CIF and really what we do on a daily basis. And schools need help. The turnover in coaches and athletic directors is very high, and we have to be there to help those schools so that their students are getting the same opportunities as someone who has some continuity. And so it's something we worked very hard at, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish there.
Well, you have accomplished it, and of course, it doesn't hurt the fact you've walked in those shoes from being at Helix High and all that business. And one of my colleagues, friends, was Dick Geck. I think Dick might have been your vice principal when you were there. I could be wrong on that.
Great man. He was my vice principal, and was a great man.
Yeah, exactly, and so passed away way too young, and as far as I'm concerned, in this aspect of it. But I got to tell you, from what we hear, and Jess and Steve and I get to interview a lot of coaches as we do on our Prep Sports Show every Tuesday. If I can put a plug in for that, 12:30 to 12:57 on Cloudcast Media Radio. But everyone just has glowing compliments about what you and John and the whole team has accomplished, and I think what comes to my mind, of course, is that communication, as well. We got about a minute and a half to go. What would you like to do as you sort of shout yourself out on this show here? But you're not going to go too far. We're going to definitely have you back on the Prep Sports Show. What would you like to say to our listeners?
I would say, high school sports have never been more healthy in San Diego, and I think it's not because of us. I think it's because of the students, the teachers, and coaches. We have lots of challenges on a regular basis, but there are more kids playing sports now than there ever have been. The numbers in girls' sports continue to increase. So I would tell the listeners, get out there and see high school sports. There's no more pure competition than in a high school athletic event, and there's so much positive going on at school sites with athletics that make a difference in kids' lives.
Well, I got to tell you, you and John have done it, and I can't thank you enough personally for how much we've enjoyed having you on our shows. I said before, we're not done with you yet. We're going to get you on at least one more time in our Prep Sports Show, and it's been an absolute delight working with you, Jerry, and look forward to continuing that too. And just congratulations on a great career.
Thank you. The feeling's mutual. I appreciate your support of high school athletics, Drew, and all that you do.
My pleasure, very much. Thanks again, Jerry.
Okay.
You bet. Jerry Schniepp, Commissioner of the CIF-San Diego Section, retiring after the 2019-20 year.
Thank you for listening to a podcast from Cloudcast Media, the digital media home for leading local brands. When it comes to amplifying your brand, a Cloudcast-sponsored show offers unbeatable value. Learn more at cloudcast.us.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.
Welcome to Cloudcast 180, the 3-minute lightning round with changemakers here in San Diego. We're here with Ed Heiner, 20-year Navy SEAL, best-selling author, and education entrepreneur. Ed, welcome to the Cloudcast 180.
Thanks for having me.
Your book was called First Fast Fearless, so let's hit this fast and fearlessly. Real quick, you created a program to help change lives of high school students around the country. It's called SEALpreneurship. Tell our audience what it's all about.
Well, it's about leading yourself, getting a PhD in me. I teach kids how to take care of themselves and lead themselves first, and how to be their own entrepreneur, intrapreneur, if you will.
Is it something you think public education is lacking, this concept of self-leadership?
Absolutely. It's a mindset that kids don't get. My son doesn't get in his school. The kids don't get it. It's something that we're educating them, but to be mentally tough and be able to take charge of themselves and accountable for themselves is very unique.
Okay, I've seen an overview of your curriculum, 23 evolutions, and you have a 23-minute podcast series. So what's up with 23?
Chromosomes, right? It's all in all of us. We're all the same. 99.9% of everybody in this world is the same. And we use those chromosomes, 23 pairs, which was one of the concepts we teach as swim buddies, never be alone. Mm-hmm. Always work with someone else, collaborate, and be out there.
Boy, that's a lesson for life for sure. Ed, you were in charge of basic and advanced training for the U.S. Navy SEALs, and I mentioned you're a 20-year SEAL. Tell our audience the greatest lesson from the SEALs that have changed you forever.
Probably in the back of a helicopter one night in Iraq before I was getting ready to fly into an Al-Qaeda target, it dawned on me that when a pilot said, you have this many souls on board, it dawned on me that the opposite of fear is love. It's not else. I don't fight for what I hate in front of me. I fight for what's beside me, behind me that I love.
Wow, it's a powerful concept. Wow. You've talked a lot about the blue-collar scholar as a concept. Fascinating. Tell our audience, what is the blue-collar scholar as it relates to your SEALpreneurship program?
It's a mental concept where people take control. Don't outsource their life. Look, we're going to have people that are in white coats, suits and ties, doctors, PhDs. That's fine. Listen to that and learn your information from them. But eventually, you got to be that mechanic in your own life. You got to turn the wrench. This is happening. So basically, take control of your own life. Use what you can use from other people. Discard it, what you can't, and make that your own. Leadership is something that you do. It's you do with people, not to them. And one of the best forms of leadership I learned in the back of that helicopter is called MOM.
Ed,
focus on mission, others, and me.
Mission, others, me. Ed, thank you for being here. This has been the Cloudcast 180. We hit it fast and fearlessly. We're out.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.